What's good, everybody? Welcome to Left Lane Chronicles. If you're tapping in live, we appreciate you tonight. We're not just talking about miles, we're talking about mindset. Our guest has put the road to the test from the edge of the $1 million highway to the raw beauty of Niagara Falls, all the way to unforgiving stretches of Alaska. But this journey, but this journey hasn't just been measured in miles, it's been measured in purpose. He rides with intention. He captures moments that makes you feel like you're right there with him. And through his event, Unleash the Peace, he reminds us that sometimes the loudest thing in the world is silence on two wheels. I want y'all to help me welcome GQ. Sorry
What's
for my
up?
little nervousness right there. Like I said, I've been trying to practice that all day, coming in here. You know what I'm saying?
It's
So,
good, man.
hey, I just want to know how you feeling tonight.
Hungry. That's about it, man. Been feeling a little under the weather. The weather down here has been so up and down. So a little stuffy, little nasally, sinuses and uh sinus draining and all that kind of good stuff or whatever. So I'm not feeling 100%, but any day above ground is a good day. So
Hey, I feel you on that one. And before before the bike and before the content, I just want to know who is GQ.
before the bike and before the content, who is GQ? Well, Ricky, which is my name. He is a father, an educator, a creative, um, somebody who will go to the end of the earth for you, somebody who will stand up for the little guy, um, but also somebody who, if you cross him, you don't want to cross him. Um, I think the biggest thing what people don't know about GQ or who I am as a person, I'm probably like the most closeted introvert that like nobody knows. Like I'm so content with just like being alone and being by myself and like just basking in solitude. Um, and I think a lot of people don't know that about me. A lot of times when we're out at motorcycle club events or different events, I like to have my camera so that camera kind of like allows me like to have like a barrier. And of course I talk to everybody, but like I'm not a person who is like, hey y'all, look at me, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can rest now. Like GQ didn't pull the like that's definitely not me. Like I'm really, I'll pull up, park or whatever. Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Blah blah blah. But super 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 big introvert. So yeah, that's who you know all the other stuff like that's who I am.
So with that, being an introvert, um, how do you manage to, you know, be able to pull it out of you whenever you do have people, that kind of like, crowd around you and try to like bombard you with these like what questions or, because I know you like to give knowledge. I've seen, you love, doing positive things. How do you manage to pull that out?
Because it's not about me. Like it's not hard to do. Because once again, it's not about me. It's about uh either helping somebody or um assisting somebody or like it just being present and available. And I think like that's the biggest thing, no matter like how bad you're feeling or how tired you are. One of the biggest things in life, like we have to be present for each other. Like you got to be present for your kids, you got to be present at work, you got to be present for all these different things. And so um I can be getting off the bike at after a 12-hour day and somebody run up, I'm definitely not gonna ignore them or anything like that, because one, I don't even think like that highly of myself to, you know, shush somebody off or anything like that. No, that's insane. And so they just being present and being relatable. Um I've had questions and I've wanted to meet certain people and stuff like that before. So I always try to put myself in other people's shoes and think of how they would feel in that moment as well. So I take all the time in the world to engage with people, whether it's off the bike, whether it's like in real life, on social media, whatever. I get a ton of questions, a ton of DMs and stuff, ranging from what kind of cameras I'm using to what kind of balls I have and when my next ride, all this other kind of stuff. So I just try to give the best advice I can, because I know at one point I look for that same type of advice.
And speaking of the bike, you know, um, what keeps you going when you're on the road, when the road gets long? Like what keeps your mind at ease?
Um, it's gonna sound crazy, but death. So, and I don't mean it like, oh, I'm gonna die. It's more like life is like the one terminal illness that everybody has. It's gonna like we gonna like die at one point. So we all have a terminal illness, and it's called life. And me getting out there like, and it's long, and I might be tired or whatever, and I'm just like, man, there's somebody like right now wishing that they could be doing what I'm doing right now. There's somebody who, whether like uh voluntarily or involuntarily, is not able to do what I'm doing. And me being able to take as much time as I can and get and squeeze um as much as I can out of life is really what keeps me going, because one day we all gonna die. And that's kind of like one of the things I just keep pushing for, to keep going and keep going and keep going, because um for the people who do know and the people who don't know, I was adopted, and my mom, I talk about her live birth to me, what I'm saying? I named one of my bikes after, whatever the case may be. Uh, I would always tell her, I'm gonna do all these great things, and I'm gonna do so much for you. And when I'm when I'm able to do it, I'm gonna do it. Because I want to do things big. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take you on trips. We gonna do this. We gonna do that. I gotta get my money right. I gotta get this right. I was always talking about the things I needed to do the stuff that I wanted to do for her. In February 2021, she passed away, and it broke my heart. Like, it literally, like, just like, to this day, like, I'm heartbroken. I don't even like thinking about it, because I'm gonna get emotional. But um I just kept telling myself, like, damn, like I didn't get to do all the stuff that I wanted to do, all of the things that I said that I was gonna do. And so um, when I'm out on that road, like, I'm making sure that I'm doing everything that I want to do, even when I'm tired, even when I feel like I can't go anymore, because life is extremely short, and I don't want to wake up one day and then be like, I wish I did this, or I wish I'd have kept going, or I wish I'd have stopped to check out um, this little attraction on the side of the road, or take that picture. So that's the thing that really kind of keeps me going.
Okay. And so would you say your drive is like family based that keeps you pushing? Because you do have like you have little ones that's watching everything you do, and I understand as a parent myself that if I show and demonstrate that it's okay to give up, then my kids are watching that and my family's watching that, so that kind of makes lets them think that okay, it's okay, you know. Um, So by moving forward, do you think that actually teaches them, to have that same drive that you have?
Um, yes, but I want to just directly attribute that because I think it's the same, but it's not the same. Um, I think more so the stuff that I'm doing for them is just to show them that like just like anything is just possible. Their drive may not be necessarily like motorcycles, but whatever they can think about doing, they can do. So a lot of the rides that I've done, uh, it was just a thought. Like, I want to go to Alaska. I want to go to Niagara Falls. I want to, go to California for the first time. I want to go see this. It was always a thought. And then, but thought without action is just wasting time. And so I will put things into place. And it's like, okay, here it is. Like, I'm gonna do it. Like, I was scared as hell for this last trip. I ain't even lie. Every time I think about doing something like out of this world, like I'm super nervous. I'm like, man, what it's gonna be like? They got bears out there. It's gonna be crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I put everything in place for me to do it. So like now it's like I think of it like a roller coaster. I used to be definitely afraid of roller coasters. Definitely afraid. Like I would not get on a roller coaster. And then one day I was like, you know what? You can do it, but you gotta prepare yourself to do it. And then once you on and that is locked in, you can't get off. You just gotta ride it. So it's like I put all these things in place, and once I crank that bike up and I'm gone, like, hey, you gotta go ahead and finish it now, bro.
Hey, I trust me, I get you on that one. 50 Shades of Jay said, hey, and Big Mafia said, a legend.
Oh man, I don't know about a legend, but I appreciate the comment.
Hey, man, I will say this. You are definitely a legend that's being born right before our eyes because everything that you're doing is going to be talked about for years to come. And there's no doubt that you're leaving your mark on the riding community. So I can contest to you being a legend.
I mean, I'm just doing stuff that I like to do. Um, and I don't know. I was like, I don't I don't I don't do this. I do it because I want people to see it because I do want to inspire people, but I don't do it for like the rah part of it. Like I don't care about all of that other stuff that might come with uh having status or having people think of me some type of way. I just want to just get out there and do my thing as a motorcyclist and inspire people along the way because um there was people who inspired me. Like I seen people do stuff and I'm like, I could do that. And then I was like, I'm gonna do that. Or I might have seen something else and it's just like, okay, if you don't have an example, you really don't know what to expect or what to look for or what to achieve. You know what I'm saying? So when you have somebody out there doing it and then showing you, hey, it can be done, like that's powerful. So I mean, I appreciate the people who have picked up on some of the things that I've done. I know a lot of people have reached out to me, especially after the first Canada run when I met the little Gypsies Nation. Shout out to Chrome and all those guys over there. A lot of guys was like, "Hey, how did you meet them? How did you do this? How did you cross the border? How did you, who do I contact?" And I was just like, do this, call them, don't do this, cross like this." I was putting out a lot of information because I want people to go ahead and do it too. You know what I'm saying? So That's how I look at it. We just gotta just pass that information along to other people.
And it's crazy that you talk about that Canada trip. I actually watched that video, and that's what inspired me to actually go ahead, get out there, and ride into Canada.
Mm,
Um, I rode to Niagara Falls, and then a friend of mine we ended up riding to Maine for a national park, and we just so happened to be an hour from the Canada border, and we went to go eat breakfast in Canada. So I've been there twice, and I will say watching your video definitely helped me understand a different way, like a way to do things, how to move, because if I didn't watch a video, I probably would have got caught up at that. Hey, you got to take the bridge or whatever the case may be,
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
and that was one of the things that I actually mentioned to my friend too. I'm like, hey, actually, no, I went with Just Gab. And I
yeah,
was letting her know, like, hey, we got to cross the bridge. Like, I remember in the GQ video, he
yeah,
couldn't go this way. We had to go a certain way. So, it was definitely cool. And I will say that your videos do put us on game on how to maneuver where we're going.
yeah. I mean, like I say, I don't want like nobody to be caught off guard with none of this stuff. I don't want nobody to be caught off guard. So, um, like the Canada thing, I met some guys locally that went. They crossed through Buffalo, but they was telling me how they got caught up at the border. They were telling me like, man, you know, they saw our vest and this and da da da, da and we got held up for 4 hours. And I'm like, I ain't got 4 hours to get held up at. So, you know, every time I cross the uh the Canadian border or any border per se, I pack my cuss away. Now some people have better luck or whatever the case may be, but I don't want to chance it because my time is valuable and I don't want to waste my time for something that's minor. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Yeah,
doesn't make sense to get held up when I could just go ahead and like, okay, look, I'm about a mile from the border. Let me go ahead and just, take my stuff off, pack it up, or whatever you want to look as especially in this climate. You know what I'm saying? You want to look as least intimidating, threatening, whatever you want to call it as possible. So I just went ahead and just did that. Didn't have any problems going and crossing, going and coming. So with the first Canada trip, got over there and back, and it's always on the way back where I get questioned a little bit more, but
yeah.
it wasn't nothing crazy. Like they're just like, so what were you doing? I want to ride my motorcycle, you know what I'm saying? But then I always had my camera stuff. I was like, yeah, I was getting content from YouTube and I do this. And when I start pointing at cameras, I'm like, look, this one's on right now. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, you go ahead and go. Like, they don't like being on camera. They'll tell you, like, yeah, don't put me on camera. Okay, cool. Well, it's recording right now. So, but they usually just go ahead and let me through.
Yeah, that's kind of like when we went through to go to the Canada side. Um, they asked me like, "You got any food or anything?" I said, "Well, I got some crackers in here. I mean, you want the crackers?" He stared at me for a minute.
Yeah,
It's just like, "Nah, I think you should be good with the crackers." I'm
yeah.
like, "Okay." He hesitated. I was like, "If this man stopped me over some crackers, man, that's crazy."
Hey, bro.
And like you said, coming back through, that's where I got questioned the most. Come back onto the American side.
Mm-hmm.
So, but which so speaking of rides, which ride challenged you the most? You would say.
Oh, which ride challenged me the most? Alaska, hands down, hands down. Alaska, that ride. I don't think so. With the rise of social media and stuff like that, people are able to connect with other people. They're able to follow things that people are doing and so on and so forth. And there's a lot of motorcyclists that's going up that way because they see people going up that way. But when I first heard about going to Alaska, it was I'm looking what's the quickest way I can get to the border to get to the like I just wanted to touch Alaska and then come on back. And that was Hyder, Alaska. And so uh I talked to a couple of people and I was telling them like, hey, I'm thinking about going to Alaska. And it was like, okay, well, what part of Alaska you think about going to? I was like, Hyder. And he was like some big dogs. And it was like, nah, bro. Like, if you gonna go, like, oh, they with how they labeled it, I didn't label it like this. I didn't label it like this. But how they labeled it, it was you got Alaska, you got fake Alaska, and you got real Alaska. And so they was like, you don't want fake Alaska. That's not my words. It's not, that's what they say. And I'm like, well, what you mean? It's like you want to see that sign that says welcome to Alaska. I said, okay, cool. So when I changed my route up and I recalculated everything, it was another 2 days ride from Hyder, from like going that way. So I'm like, man, that's far. Like
God
it's
dang.
already, gonna take me almost 8-9 days to get there. So I had to add another 2 just to get up there. Like it was, but not another 2. It took me 8 days to get there from my house. It would have took me 6 days if I went to Hyder. But it was the most challenging because as much as I prepared for it, nothing can prepare you for going to Alaska. Like nothing can like I did research. When I tell you research, like I'm on Google Maps, like looking at Google Earth, looking at the different like because they're like, oh man, like the road bad and all that stuff or whatever, and they got gravel. And I'm like, and I'm talking to people, they're like, oh no, it's not bad. I'm talking to people who went. I don't have no ego. It was bad. The roads were terrible. You know what I'm saying? But I'm asking them, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's not that bad because I'm zooming in street level Google Maps, like looking at different pieces and like literally assessing the road. But that stuff changed so fast. Like it really changed. There's nothing you can do out there to prepare you for the change in terrain now because I was talking to one of the construction guys and because they do construction all summer. So it's gonna be you're gonna hit construction no matter what, and the road's gonna be bad no matter what. The dude said you would be lucky if a year and a half pass and they don't have to tear it up. Like so they pretty much have to tear the ground up and repave it for the wintertime every single year. Now some parts are worse than others, some parts are not. But there's nothing can prepare you for that. And nothing could have prepared me uh mentally for being out there so far. Like once you start getting way up in the Yukon, nothing
Yeah.
can really prepare you for that. Like nothing. And the reason why I say that is like you're really out in the wild. No cell phone coverage. And I ain't talking like, okay, well, we hit a dead spot, whatever. Like you're going 4-5 hours with no coverage, no cell phone service. You got bear just chilling on the side of the road like deer, moose sitting on the side of the road, chilling, crossing, bison just and you in your mind it messes you up because it's like, shouldn't they be behind some type of fence or something? Ain't no fence. It's just wide open. It is all the way
See,
wide open.
you braver than me.
Look, I said it before and I say it again. God takes care of fools and babies. And I was most definitely, I ain't a baby, I'm most definitely a fool because I didn't know. I would do it again though. I wouldn't do it on my bike, but I would do it again knowing what I know because I'm more prepared for it. But initially, There's nothing that can prepare you for, like I said, mentally being out there. You know, even like getting gas, it's like a process in some places. Like sometimes you gotta take your card, you gotta go in there, leave your card, come back out, turn on the pump like this little lever, and then you can hear like spinning up like woo. Then you pump in gas, then you come back out, you take a picture of how many gallons you got because it's not hooked to the thing in there. Take a picture, then you go in there and show them like, yeah, I got 4.5 gallons, and then they do a little calculation with this old calculator. Okay, and then they run your car. Like nothing can prepare you for none of that stuff. But it was definitely challenging. Um, and I think it was another reason why I was challenging because I took 17 days. I did it in 14, but I took 17 days off, and I was running every single day. Like we talking first 2 days, it was did 1,900 and something miles, just going straight up. Like we were rolling, and every day was a 12 to 15 hour day minimum. So I think that was another reason why that was probably my most challenging ride.
So, what would you say was like the most beautiful ride you've done thus far? So she had you challenging. So what's the most beautiful ride, and what was going through your mind during that ride?
I would say probably the same thing, the Alaska ride, like
Okay.
but in different sections. Um some stretches in the Yukon it's just forest, it's just wild. But there's some stretches where it's just like you see just nothing but like mountains and glaciers and stuff like that. And it's just like crazy. And some of the ecosystems out there, it's like there's like sand. Like it's like there was this one part, the glacial sand, like I forgot what they call it, but it's like a sand dune, but it's like mountains with like ice and stuff, and it's like a lake right next. It was just insane, but it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. But one of the parts that stuck out the most was the Icefields Parkway uh in Canada. That was insane. That was really insane. Like that stretch is just probably when you talk about like blue water, like it's like extremely blue, like neon, almost like it's like radioactive. Like it's just like so blue, and it's just something that you're just not used to seeing. And me and my club brother, we were on the corridors talking because there is no, you don't have service a lot, so we got the intercoms going, and we just like, man, it's insane. Like we would literally just in awe the entire time of how like just beautiful it was just being out there. Like we would just pull over and just like just look for a second, like this is insane. Like you wouldn't believe how vast it is out there and how beautiful it is out there at the same time. So that was
Did you,
about the
did you manage
hardest.
did you manage to bring any trinkets back?
I always get patches. That's my thing. I gotta I get patches for everywhere I go. And I put them on my other vest and jacket when I'm out doing um content creative stuff and stuff with Harley Davidson and different brands. But
Okay.
and I also got a Survivor T-shirt. I survived the Alaskan Highway T-shirt, and it was definitely worth it. Matter of fact, I need to go find it and frame it because that was something.
Yeah, because excuse me, I remember when we everybody was patiently waiting for that video, and when I finally got a chance to see it, I was like, I see why this was worth the wait. Because to me, anything that's outside of like your normal scope of what you're used to is
Mm,
beautiful in my eyes. And the fact that you even took that leap to even do that trip was amazing. And speaking about the planning of the trip, leading up to it, what was your thoughts when planning that ride? Like what was going through your mind?
Um, that I was gonna be on the road a long time. Like not necessarily like days wise, but just like hours wise. I was gonna be on the road a lot. Um, I use Chat GPT and Google Maps and just talking to other people to um do it or whatever. And
Yeah.
every day, like I had to ride a certain amount of miles, a certain amount of hours. So I'm like, man, that was gonna be like crazy.
Um, Big Mafia said on your Alaska run was your speedometer in kilometers because it was certain.
Kilometers. Yeah,
Uh,
nah, we switch we switched it to kilometers because we wanted to make sure that we were gauging our gas correctly. Like I wanted to make sure that we had enough gas to make it to the next gas stop. So as soon as we switched over, where we crossed the border, we switched it to kilometers, and then we switched it back once we got out of there.
and before we continue, you had a few people want to say what's going on to you. Uh, J Hog and Lanes want to say what's up.
What's up?
Mr.
What's up?
Extra and
They
Artavia
left.
Hall. Hey, like I said, y'all comment. We gonna make sure we get y'all. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna just leave y'all high and dry. I promise you. So, like, is there ever a time where you're on the road and you're just like, you know what, this was the plan, but you kind of alter your plan or route in the midst of the ride?
Yep. Uh, when I went to California, the was it the third time? I think the third time I went to California. Coming back, uh, no, there's a second time. But anyway, coming back, I had this route where I was going to hit a couple of different national parks and some different things or whatever. And sometimes I'm just like, I'm either tired, I'm just like, you know what, I'm not gonna hit it, or I see something, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead and just go over here and check this out or whatever. So um, I only do that when I'm riding by myself because I
Okay.
can't. Um, I don't do it when I'm riding with other people. I try to, if I say, hey, we're gonna do X, Y, Z, I tried my best as much as possible to stick to X, Y, Z. Now, if things happen that's out of my control or whatever the case may be, or it's gonna affect my safety one way or the other, then of course, like I would alter the ride and do what I need to do as I see fit.
And also, since we're talking, like, I want to hit on something I know a lot of people are curious about or wants to know more about. Um, how did Unleash, excuse me, the piece start?
Um, so how did it start? It was just time. I mean, I had a following. I had a lot of people who, wanted to meet me or ride with me. Uh, and I thought I was like, well, look, this is, I'll just put something together and, you know, I can knock multiple birds out with one stone and just turn it into a weekend event. And I kind of did it like the first one. I did it like last minute. Like I probably started it. I started promoting it in March, like 2 months, 3 months before, and it was a success. And then last year was just insane. Like it was just like people and bikes everywhere. And this year I'm expecting it to be even bigger. So it started by me just like trying to find a way to connect with a lot of people who follow me and who support me, and they can have that kind of that time to kind of interact with me and like-minded people
Yeah.
um in a chill space or whatever. So a lot of times when we have like big events with like Daytona or like those rallies and stuff, it's hard to really connect with each other. It's just so much going on. And so how I put it together, it's more of us just coming together and just commingling with each other for that weekend. And of course, majority of everything that I do has a purpose, and I wanted to use that platform or that event to give back to my community, because I was doing it in different like various little instances, whether it was like me um going up to Detroit and hosting an event at this elementary school, and hooking the kids up with headphones and tablets and stuff like that, or going out to Fayetteville and blessing the one lady with some money for groceries and stuff like that. uh I was like, okay, well, this will probably be like the capstone every year. Like, okay, we're gonna do something big, and I want it to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And hopefully, if things go right, um, if they go right, I- something's gonna happen where we're gonna be able to raise a lot of money and be able to like really, really bless an individual this year. So
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see at least the piece growing into like one of those events that become gets on a massive scale. What you're doing is definitely good for the people. It's definitely good for the fellow riders out there. You giving them another outlet and something to look forward to. Um, what does peace mean to you?
ooh, that's crazy. I had a that was my essay that I gave to the kids in Detroit. They had to write an essay to be eligible to get uh, some of the prizes, and the question was, what does peace mean to you? Um, for me, peace is being able to live my life to the best of my ability, and that's pretty much that's it. Just living life. That's peace. So when I'm out on that bike and I'm doing my thing and I'm traveling, whatever, that's my peace. But mainly just living life to the best of my ability. So even when I'm at home with the kids, or I'm at work with the children that I teach, or I'm just sitting here just like painting and stuff, like I'm living my life to the best of my ability. So that is probably what peace means to me.
That's dope. Because I get it. A lot of people have their own interpretation of peace. Like for myself, peace for me, I would have to say, and not to sound too like into bikes, but riding has definitely become my peace. You know,
Mm,
that is my escape from everything. Um, as we spoke about before, I'm in the Northeast, so I gotta have to find a new way to uh, balance that piece out. So
yeah.
uh, I find ways to keep myself busy. Uh, Something about me also is that I I am a trained chef,
Mhm.
so in the wintertime, what I like to do more of is get back into like the kitchen atmosphere and start doing more of experimenting on different cuisines and whatnot. So that's another piece of mine. and a lot of people don't know that. But yeah, food is definitely one of my piece. One of the things I can say is a piece of mine. Um,
Yeah.
so when people come to your event and they leave, because I've seen the smiles and you have people singing karaoke. So when people leave your event, you know, what do you want them to feel when they're leaving that event?
um, what do I want people to feel when they leaving that event? Um, I want them to feel like they left feeling more connected with the people who were there. I wanted to feel like family. Like the Peace Army is one big family. And I really want people to feel that way. And I think I achieved that. I think I achieved that at this, at least with part. I know I did it the first one, but the second one really kind of like stamped it. Like it really was like a family atmosphere. So that's what I want people to leave feeling like we're there for each other. We look after each other, we take care of each other, we're gonna love on each other. Um we're gonna ride with and for each other. So you might have left, or you might have came there by yourself, but you may have left with so many more people. May not, and it may not have been physically like riding with you, but you may have left with a new cousin, like my girl Rose says, that's the cousin reunion. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, and when she did her video, I was like, man, like that was probably, I couldn't explain it a better way. Like I couldn't explain it a better way. So I want people to leave feeling like they was a part of a new family.
And I'm pretty sure the community, that you built, they can contest to everything that you're saying. And speaking of videos and whatnot, what inspired you to start documenting your rides?
I'm gonna answer that question, but I seen one earlier. Did I have any issues on my bike? With my bike on my way to Alaska, whatever. The only issue, excuse me, I ain't feeling too good. The only issue that I had on my bike, my navigation froze. Uh, like I was way up, like it just stopped work. It just froze. I'll turn the bike off, turn it back on, and it was still like that. But I had to pull the main fuse and then put it back in and it started working. But that was the only issue that I had with that bike. But back to your question, what inspired me to start making videos?
To document your rides? Yep.
Document. It was a couple of different things. I think the biggest thing for me was showing people down here, locally, like, hey, it's stuff out there. New Orleans is like the smallest big city in the United States. Like we got maybe like 300,000, like 350,000 people that live here or whatever. So it's a big city, but it's not a metropolis. And a lot of people who grow up here, they don't leave. Like a lot of people do not, like they don't go. Like they live, they have their neighborhoods, they stay there, and they don't go too far. Now, since Katrina, they'll go to Texas, uh Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, whatever. But outside of that, they ain't going nowhere. And so I was in my previous club, and we would just, ride fairly locally. And I went to the Lone Star Rally for the first time. This is when I first got my bike, first got my Harley. I had a Road King, and I'm like, I went with another club to the Lone Star Rally, like maybe a week after I got that Road King. And I came back, my mind was blown. Like, dog, there's no way. Like all these bikes are just like right here. I had never seen nothing like that ever in my life. And so I came back and I'm telling them like, dog, like we gotta come, we gotta do this, man. This is like fire. Like they got all these people and all these bikes and everybody's having a good time and just it's just everywhere. And then they looking at me like, man, what you talking about? Like, man, go sit down somewhere. Like, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna show you. So got me a little used little GoPro Hero 5 and a GoPro Hero 6. And I just started recording. And then I started seeing other YouTubers in the beginning. Like I remember watching, of course, like Traveling Tall, uh Queen Sid, uh Law Abiding Biker. Like, I was at that point I was infatuated with like people traveling on motorcycles. And
Mm-hmm.
so I just started like watching that and I was already recording. I'm like, oh, this is dope. Like they got people out here who really doing it. And so I just started doing it more and more and more. And eventually it just kind of like evolved. It's like early in the, I guess in my YouTube infancy, like I would do more like vlog style, like videos where I hop on a bike and I'm like, hey guys, we going to do this today and da 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 da. And I would do a lot of talking, but I don't like talking because I'm really an introvert. Like I say that earlier, like I don't like even in the confines of my helmet and stuff like that, just knowing that I'm just talking to somebody, like for me, it just feels awkward. Like I'll
Yeah.
do it in short spurts, but I couldn't do a whole video, you're talking 10, 15 minutes of me just talking like that, unless it was something really, really important or really, really pressing that was on my mind or my heart, where I needed to talk about. And so that kind of like involved to me just like doing a narrative piece where I would just like write down how I'm feeling and stuff like that. Cause I can express how I'm feeling more as opposed to me just talking uh the whole time. So
And it's so for me, um, I would say a lot of my inspiration came from people like yourself, Kelly B, Traveling Tall, and I watch, Law Abiding Biker as well.
mm,
Um, and I my thing is it showed me that you gotta be, you gotta, be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and that's what I took from it because I know at some point you guys had to get out there on your first ride and just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it, you know,
yeah.
and learning how to be comfortable with, being uncomfortable is something that I learned as my time in the service too, and that's something that they always used to preach. And it's like, yo, like, I used to be like, yo, I want to go see this, I want to go do this, I want to go do that, and I would say that when I was going to do it, and I finally got the time to do it, and I'm just like, I'm doing it. And it
Mm,
wasn't until like me starting to push more and more of state lines, wasn't until I ran into Gab,
mm,
and her and I started doing different rides, or she'll tell me about a ride and I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna do my best to make it. And I would show up. So things like that, when I used to watch Gab videos a lot too. And she is definitely one of the people that still push me till this day to push that boundary as well. Um, I'm type where I'm at work, I like to sit down and watch y'all videos. So if y'all put something new out, trust me, I'm watching them. I'm sitting at my desk and I'm watching it. I know people are like, "How you watching? You supposed to be working." Listen, the way my job is set up, I'm able to
don't
do it.
mind.
So, oh, you got someone saying hello. What else we had? We got Jay Hogging Lanes. Your videos were some of the ones I binged before I even started to learn how to ride. Pure inspiration. to do what we do now. And that's from Jay Hagen.
That's what's up.
And then Big Mafia says, before this live ends, I want to tell you again, bro, you are the reason I ride. I've been lost since my mother died, and I'm back alive because of your similar story. I appreciate you.
Man, listen, bro. I get it. Like, I'm telling you, I was riding. I'm like, man, ain't no way. Like, this is the person. And then, especially somebody who took me in, you know what I'm saying, who didn't have to do, like, we not talking about somebody who you know, I'm adopted, or I'm taken into a family who well off. I mean, like, we got, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms with like 7, 8 people in the house, you know, but she did everything she had to do to make sure uh I was safe, I was loved, I was cared for, you know what I'm saying? And so when you lose all of that, and then knowing how much that this woman sacrificed for you, I was definitely lost. You know what I'm saying? Like I was done. And it hurt me because like I said, all I wanted to do was just like repay her, and not being able to do it, like it stuck with me. It sticks with me to this day. And so if y'all see like on my videos or like my pictures and stuff that I post on Instagram, I have my mom's shirt with me, like her memorial shirt. And I take that's my way of bringing her on the trips with me that I said we was gonna do. Of course, she wasn't hopping on a motorcycle, but you know what I'm saying, like I wanted to do stuff like that together with her, whether it's a cruise, whether it's we hop in a car and like go somewhere or catch a flight. It was never able to do it while she was still breathing air. And so anytime I'm going on anything long distance, I gotta pack that shirt. I have, like, that's on the checklist. Like, I gotta pack that shirt. And every time I make it to somewhere where it's like monumental, I gotta take it out. I'm saying, and basically talk to her, like tell her, like, look, thank you. I appreciate you for watching over me, one, and just being there with me. So like I'm still getting that mother son time in. It's just in a different way.
That's well said. And I feel what people can take away from that as well is, you know, don't take, life for granted, because at some point, the people that we hold near and dear, they're going to get called home.
Right.
My mother lives like 2 hours away, and I try to see her as often as I can. Part of that also comes from your story as well. And, my grandmother just passed not too long ago. So my mom, she lost both her parents. And I know that, she definitely goes through it and whatnot. I've spoken to her on times, where holidays, and she breaks down due to the fact that, she recently lost her mom. So um yeah, make sure y'all stay in touch with your loved ones, because it's very important.
For
I will
real.
say that.
For real. For real.
Gab said, thank you for sharing your story and inspiring us to push through difficult times.
Man, look, it's nut, man. Look, I appreciate you coming down to unleash the peace. Shoot. Gab can sing. People don't know, man. Gab can get that, man. Gab can throw down. Excuse my voice, man, but Gab can throw down. She can
So
throw
so
down.
what you're saying is you're gonna have Gab sing
And
this year again?
Gab and Rue is the headliners for the karaoke night for Unleash the Peace, man. Like, they're the headliners.
Hey Gab, you heard that now. Don't not show up now. You better show up, be prepared to sing. Don't be over there trying to think you're gonna be sitting there having your little drinky drink. Nah. You coming to sing, you coming to work. Let me see. Oh wait. Hold up.
But
Look.
see, we not playing, Gab. We are not playing. We are not playing at all. Well, at least I ain't playing. I'm dead serious. Matter of fact, I might try to figure out how we can incorporate some type of prize for our little karaoke night. But it was just such a vibe with like good people. Like you just had to be there. Like we all did videos about it, but like it's nothing like being there.
Yeah.
And seeing everybody hop on the mic and like, laugh and clap with each other and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? is it's a good time, man. It's a good time.
So before we get out of here, because we have a few minutes left, I do have some rapid questions for you.
Okay.
So, do you prefer mountains or the coast when you ride?
Mountains.
Solo or group rides?
Solo.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise.
Long hauls or quick escapes?
Long hauls. I need to go.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. You have the rapid
That's
questions.
it with a quick fire. I thought you were gonna come with about look. I was ready.
Hey,
I was ready.
they were quick. Oh, we got street glide or road glide.
Road glide.
That's because he got a street glide. That's why he was hoping you say street glide. You got Kelly B in the house.
No matter what, man. Road. Listen, I had a Road King. My first Harley was a Road King. I sold and I had a street glide. And I rocked that street glide for a year. And I sold it to a good friend of mine. And then I bought the Road Glide. But I had a street glide. And I pimped it out, painted it, rims, music. Like it was a nice bike. But I prefer Road Glide though.
Okay. So just one last question. So whenever you do your videos, because I know a lot of people be wondering this, how do you pick those perfect shots? Like what goes through your mind before you snap that camera?
You talking about the videos, right? When I'm
Yeah.
riding. Like I'm always paying attention to everything when I'm riding. Like miles down the road, like if I can see something off in the distance, like I'm preparing myself to get ready. Like I might see some windmills to the left, like, okay, these windmills coming up. I'm getting ready to pass them out. Let me go ahead and get ready or position the camera so I could go ahead and get that. It's just what you would want people to see if they wasn't with you. So I'm obviously here. I can say, yeah, man, it was windmills and they had a river over here and they had a mountain, they had some snow and some goats and some bison and stuff like that, whatever. But if you never showed them that, then it don't really hit the same. So I don't want to say it's like a perfect shot. It's just that it's shots that people can appreciate. So when I'm riding and I'm like, man, the sunset look good right here. Let me hit the sunset. Or it's a body of water that's really nice or whatever the case may be. Boom. I started bringing the 360 with me and sitting on the back for like places where I wanted to keep two hands on the bike at all times. Like when I rode the $1 Million Highway, like I didn't want to take my hand off. I pressed record and I let it go. And I just rolled along and I went back and I chopped it up. But you're able to see the entire like landscape in that moment when I did the tunnel of trees up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. You can't really understand what it's like to ride the tunnel of trees if it's just like a front facing camera or a back facing camera. So that 360 will give you like, okay, like those trees really go above you in a tall canopy, and it's literally all the way around. So
Mm.
uh I just try to capture stuff that would allow people to really see what it's like to be here in that moment. I guess that's like the best way for me to put it per se.
Okay. Well put. Well put. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight was a reminder that the road isn't just somewhere you ride, it's somewhere you learn. Every mile, every moment, every quiet stretch adds to who you are becoming. GQ, thank you for sharing your journey and your piece with us tonight. To everyone watching live or catching the replay, thank you for riding with us. Follow Just GQ, support Unleash the Peace, and keep moving with intention. This is Left Lane Chronicles. We'll see you down the road. And remember, keep them twos down. You heard? We out. Oh wait,
All
I
right, bro.
think some people try to get their last bit.
Okay,
All
what?
right.